Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BC, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this weekend at Porter versus Spence, there was an announcement for the heavyweight division, one that we kind of knew was coming, but they finally formally announced it, so let's talk about it. Deontay Wilder and the rematch with Luis Ortiz is now it's now set. It's official. There is a date. There is a venue. And it is November the 23rd, Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. So, another fight for Deontay Wilder this year. It'll be a second fight of the year. Obviously, the last one came against Dominic Breazeale, in which he easily dispatched Dominic Breazeale in one round and damn near killed the man. Now, the first fight with Ortiz and Wilder, it was a modern-day heavyweight classic. It was a great fight, very entertaining, lots of good back-and-forth action. Ortiz put Wilder in some very uncomfortable positions, hurt him, had him out on his feet. It was one of the very few times in Wilder's career where he generally looked like he could be knocked out and get out of there. So Ortiz, you could argue in some respects, might have given Wilder the toughest fight. You could actually argue that, but since then, Ortiz had two fights. He fought Travis Kaufman and he fought Christian Hammer, and didn't look the best to me, I'll be honest with you. He beat those guys soundly because those guys are not on the same level as him, and he did what he was supposed to do. He found a way to win. But I was left very unimpressed with both of those performances. And when he fought Wilder and he had him on the ropes, I was left very disappointed with how he decided to attack him in his punch selection. He was going for the head. He did not go to the body. He was afraid to go to the body. He was afraid to go to the body, or he doesn't know how to go to the body, because he had Wilder out on his feet. And I did not see barely any body punching for him. So, Wilder has seen him once before, and I actually feel like since that fight with Luis Ortiz, Wilder has gotten a lot better. In the ring, and most importantly, up here mentally, he has went to another level as a fighter mentally, because when you knock down somebody like Tyson Fury, when you hurt someone like Tyson Fury in the 12th round of that fight, that gives you another layer of confidence, and he was fortunate to come out of that fight with a draw and maintain his O. So he came out of that fight with an added layer of confidence. Then he fought Dominic Breazeale and absolutely decapitated him. So he really believes, like before those fights happened, he believed he was the best heavyweight on the planet, but now he really believes he's the best heavyweight on the planet. And Deontay Wilder breaks a lot of the rules in boxing. He gets away with a lot of things in boxing. But he's an artist. He's an artist in his own way. He's a genius in his own way, with how he's able to set up his shots and land hard punches and get guys out of there. People don't give him enough credit. I will admit that much when it comes to Wilder. But as it pertains to this fight with Luis Ortiz, it is a complete waste of time. And I'm gonna tell you why it's a waste of time. Okay, for a couple reasons. Number one, Deontay Wilder is talking about unifying the division. He doesn't have a belt, so that's number one. Number two, he beat him already. He beat him soundly, and there was little to any controversy, okay? Was Wilder hurt? Yes. Was Wilder put in a bad position at times? Yes. But was the fight controversial enough to warrant a rematch? Did you hear any, like as a boxing fan who follows this every day, I'm going to ask you guys, because if you're watching my channel, odds are you're a boxing fan who follows the news every day, because that's mostly my channel is made up of, is hardcore boxing fans. The question I have to ask to you is, did you ever once, after the Luis Ortiz fight, think to yourself and say, I want to see Deontay Wilder fight Luis Ortiz again? Now, there might be people out there that watch this video that have, but I haven't heard anybody say that. So, he does have a belt. He beat him soundly the first time. He stopped him. Ortiz hasn't looked too impressive in his two performances since against subpar opposition. I really don't see any reason for this fight to happen. And I'm going to come on record right now and say it's a waste of time. And this is going to be Luis Ortiz's retirement check. This will be the fight that ends King Kong. Because let's not play stupid here for a second. We know Luis Ortiz is not 40 years old, or however old they say he is. The dude is like in his 50s. He's like 55, 54, okay? And, he doesn't have he didn't have the stamina back then going into those middle to later rounds. He didn't have the stamina back then to deal Wilder. So I don't give a damn how in shape he looks. What makes you think he's going to have the stamina now to deal Wilder? A better Wilder, a more confident Wilder, a more dangerous Wilder? What makes you think that he's going to have that kind of stamina to deal with that? And, you know, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that, because I live in the South Florida area, and I don't live too far away from where Luis Ortiz trains, and I haven't gone to his gym in quite some time, but I know people in that gym. I know people in that gym. I know people that watch him spar regularly, and what I always say about Luis Ortiz is that he's always injured in camp. He always is injured in camp, and I understand fighters can never be 100% healthy. I get all these things, but Luis Ortiz is very brittle. He gets injured quite easily in camp. He showed in the last fight that he did not have the stamina to deal with Wilder going into the latter part of the fight. Wilder has gotten better as a fighter since then, so it's a waste of time. And honestly, I hate to say this, but you know, and look, I pray to God I'm wrong. I hope it's a good fight. I hope Luis Ortiz shocks the world and wins via upset, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Deontay Wilder is going to absolutely decapitate Luis Ortiz. He's going to put Luis Ortiz, metaphorically speaking, in a casket. He's going to hurt him badly. He's going to absolutely annihilate Luis Ortiz, and this fight is not going 5 rounds. Take it to the bank, write your check, go to freaking whatever your bank is, whether it's Chase, Bank of America, fucking BB&T, Citibank, whatever it is. Whatever your choice of bank is, take it to the bank. Deontay Wilder is decapitating, destroying, annihilating, and absolutely folding up Luis Ortiz in 5 rounds or less. Because, like I said, in the first fight, he had what it took to beat Wilder, because Wilder had never seen the style before. But now that Wilder's seen him, now that Wilder knows he doesn't go to the body, now that Wilder knows how he sets traps, how he moves, things like that, you're going to see Wilder fight a bit different. And I think in some respects, this fight might actually be good for the perception of Wilder, because I feel like after he knocks out Luis Ortiz in 5 rounds or less, people might start to look at Wilder and give him credit for his boxing IQ, because he's not to be confused with Larry Holmes or Pernell Whitaker as a technical fighter, but he does have a boxing IQ. He does know how to set up his punches. He does not get 40 knockouts in 41 fights. He has knocked down every man who stepped in the ring with him on the canvas by accident. He knows what he's doing in there. And, you know, looking at the WBC rankings, there's so many guys he could have fought. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy going on with the Dillian White UCAD situation, but Wilder could have said, F it, I'm fighting Dillian White. You know, that could have been a fight. You know, Alexander Povetkin, he just fought on the 31st against Fury, and he won. That was a fight that was supposed to happen in 2016. Why not put that to bed? He's talking about, like, and this is where Wilder sounds like a straight hypocrite to me, because he's saying that with Ortiz, he has unfinished business because Ortiz gave him this tough fight and whatnot. But you were supposed to fight Povetkin in 2016, and you never fought him. And Ortiz has tested positive for stuff, but when it comes to Povetkin, you know, you don't hold Povetkin that you hold Ortiz to. You don't hold them to the same standard. And you could have put that to bed. So if you really wanted, you had some spare time, you could have put this to bed. You know, you could have folded up Alexander Povetkin or tried to fold up Alexander Povetkin. You know, I have my doubts about whether you could beat Alexander Povetkin, but you know, there was that fight. He's ranked number 4. Adam Kownacki, that fight's been talked about for a while. That fight would have made a lot of sense in New York. Personally, I wouldn't care much for it, because I think he would destroy Kownacki, but that was an option. It's something different. You know, he didn't knock him out already. You know, what about Oscar Rivas? He gave Dillian White a good fight and has knocked out the likes of Brian Jennings. That could have been a decent fight. You know, I don't know. And then the further you go on the list, you have guys like Filip Hrgovic, and Hrgovic is a guy that I think in about 5 more fights would be able to be ready for Wilder, but he's not ready yet. But he's ranked number 10. But I'm saying, like, you had guys like Povetkin, you had guys like Kownacki, you had guys like hell, even like a guy like Pulev. These guys could have all worked out better than Ortiz. Because really, I don't think Ortiz has much of a chance. I'll be honest with you. He doesn't have much of a chance. He's very old. His stamina is gone to crap. His punching power isn't even what it used to be, because if you go back and you watch his last 2 fights, he didn't even stop Christian Hammer. The same Christian Hammer that got banged out and stopped by Tyson Fury. That Tyson Fury got stopped by him. So it's a waste of time. And utterly, I think it'll be the end of Luis Ortiz. You're putting Luis Ortiz in some serious danger, because He's not the same fighter he was when he fought Wilder the first time. And he's going to get hurt badly and take it to the bank. Take the check to a local bank and go cash it. And those are just rewards. That's my take on this fight. So, yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below. If you think I'm telling Louis T short, let me know in the comments. If you think I'm right, let me know in the comments. Anything regarding this fight, let me know in the comments. Like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.